Hey, what's up, studs? Ryan here, MandRproductions, and welcome to Ask MandR episode 306. This is to answer your questions. If you have a question or topic for next episode, leave in the comments section down below. Hit the like button while you're there, and huge shout out to everyone that bought one of the launch edition 25th anniversary cases that I put out in conjunction with brickshellcases.com. They are now sold out, but the standard edition is now out, and I mostly wanted to talk about it so you could see this picture of me in the bathroom. Kind of just realized it might make a pretty good armrest too. Our first question this week comes from Studtastic Studios, who says, have you heard of the LEGO TT Games acrylic trophy bricks, and do you have any in your collection? If not, do you have any interest in getting them? So I certainly do know about these. I've known about them forever. They've made them for LEGO Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars video game, and of course recently for the LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga video game. They've also done it for non-LEGO Star Wars LEGO games, but they are a really cool collectible piece. They are, of course, expensive, like anything that's rare in LEGO Star Wars. They are also very hard to get, as they are only given to employees, so they're not just readily available to the public. But for no real particular reason, I haven't gone out of my way to go and buy one of these. I would love to at some point go and pick one up. I just wouldn't want to, for $800, get like Rey or Finn or BB-8 or old Han Solo. Like, I would have to go with a character like Palpatine or like even Vader, but he's $1,500 on eBay, and I don't know, where I might find one cheaper, if at all, or, it's one of the things you might just wait on and see if you find one day for a good deal if you just get really lucky, but it's not something I've gone out of my way to buy. There's one really that I would want, is the Captain Rex one. I think I saw it for sale like 6 months ago, and I should have just bought it then, but these aren't something that I'm like trying to collect every single one of, though, so that's probably why I passed on it, is I just didn't feel like I needed it, which is a good thing, because I don't need to just go and spend money on a whim like that. DJ says, I got a V19 Torrent still in the box, and I've been wanting to build it, but I know the red pieces will crack. What do you think I should do to prevent that? So unfortunately, that old red will just crack, much like this shirt will one day crack. There's nothing you can do to prevent it, like outside of maybe being super careful with your placement of pieces. Even then, the old dark red will still crack. What I think you should do is build it like you would any other LEGO set. If something does happen to crack along the way, just go on Bricklink or whatever and buy a replacement part. I don't, to my knowledge, think there is a piece on there that is particularly expensive, but even so, if there is, you're just gonna have to deal with it. There's really not a way around it. Don't overthink it, just enjoy it the way you normally would, and if something happens along the way, note down what piece it was and go out and replace it. Maybe you'll even have that part in your collection or in another set that you don't care about taking it from. The Cole says, with the rumored pairing of sets with the Sarlacc pit and sail barge, do you think this could lead to the possibility that they continue this with an ATOT in one set and a dropship in another? I love the optimism that was sucked out of me years ago. The combination of the Sarlacc pit and sail barge means nothing for the potential of an ATOT and a dropship. I know you want to be super excited about the future. I do too. The reality is, a more realistic comparison too would be something like a Hoth Echo base to the UCS AT-AT. We're looking at like a battle pack to the dropship and ATOT set in 2009 type of pairing. The Brown Eyes of Mandalore says, how would you recommend going about trying to work for LEGO? Like, if I wanted to work for them in a design aspect or any job that influences the sets they make and perhaps work on making them, how would you recommend getting there? And is it even worth it? As a massive fan of LEGO who cares about the fans, I think it'd be great for me to work there and influence LEGO for the betterment of the fans.
I think a lot of it has to do with how you present your workflow. LEGO does, at least in the parameters of the internship that I applied for and got, they really were looking for someone who had a design element to their collegiate degree, their undergraduate degree, or continued education, as it were. So definitely having the word design and being able to appropriately connect that from the academic work that you do in school to your intended position at LEGO is key. I'm looking on LEGO's website because it's changed significantly from when I interned there in 2018, 2019. A lot of it now has to do with just presenting your workflow and your projects that you've designed in a way that emulates LEGO's, meaning that look at how LEGO presents and brands their designs and their products and try to present your own designs in a similar medium. So my portfolio, for example, focused on showing what these creations might look like on a clear backdrop, but it also showed a sketching process. LEGO is very interested in how you put your ideas into a tangible medium. They hire based on the designs that you create, of course, but also the process by which you do that. And if you make that open and accessible to them,
Right.
they will really see you as a more competitive candidate. Obviously, having an accessible and friendly personality matters a lot too.
I know I've seen like people that went on Lego Masters and like are just good designers, maybe without like the college degree backing, can get there. But would you say like
Yes.
you're more likely if you have the piece of paper?
For the internship, yes. And I think that is a lot of what Lego is looking for. They want to hire on students. And I'm not speaking, of course, in any capacity for Lego. This is purely just from my experience working there during my 5-month internship, 6-month internship. But I think for the internship, yes, they very much do want to have a design element in your degree that you're pursuing to make you a competitive student applicant. As far as a permanent career goes, that shift of the hiring process, from my understanding, focuses a lot more on, like I've said, the accessible design, very engaged, passionate personality. Lego is also going to be very interested in how you work within teams. So they want to know how you take initiative yourself and how you work collaborating with others in a team.
Part of his question too is it worth it? Because I know you had your experience, but you basically decided, yeah, it's not for me.
It's always worth it. And this applies to a Lego design internship or anything that your viewers are interested in, is to pursue that which you're passionate about. Make that the forefront of your focus. Do as much as you can. Get as much experience as possible. And then you are left with no regrets because you've put everything on the table. You've gone all out in making that dream come true. And though now Lego for me is a hobby and is not the permanent career, the influences of that internship have helped me so much in my career choices and how I talk to people and communicate and conceptualize the world, that it truly was one of the most formative, if not the most formative professional experience of my life so far. So I'm 100% glad I did it. Zero regret there. If you get the chance to do it, it is a life-changing experience. It's a very unique company, and it's always a fun conversation piece to talk to about people. And it opens your perspective in the world, especially working in Billund, in Denmark, or even just in any aspect for the company. I can't recommend that enough. I'm always willing to answer questions directly. I can't promise that I'll be prompt on it, but I'm always happy to talk to people one-on-one if they want any advice or just want to talk about it.
All right, that was John Klepeek. Thank you very much to him for that amazing answer, and I hope he was able to set you on the right path there. So moving on to our next question, GeoBricks says, do you think there's any chance of $15 minifig packs coming back? No. Next question from Christopher says, have you finished playing Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, the Lego game? I haven't. It's just not pulling me into the game like the old Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga did. I started playing The Complete Saga. What are your thoughts? I definitely like the Skywalker Saga less than The Complete Saga, the old game. It's nostalgic. It's probably not the better game, but I don't know. Like, I don't really remember every single aspect of everything. I do know that with the old game, kind of the hub world was kind of lit, you know, especially the Dex's Diner one was awesome. So I used to love going around and checking out like the mini builds as you would get them from the mini kits outside of Dex's Diner. And that was one of the, best parts of the game to me as a kid. But as far as the new game, it came out, I did some small scale gaming content on it. It actually was doing pretty well. I did episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4 that I played through. And, I think it was even profitable. Usually when I make content on other channels that I like pay someone else to edit, it's not profitable, but it was actually profitable. So that was kind of nice. As far as the game play went, I did enjoy what I played, but I, as a gamer, have been ruined. I'm now a Call of Duty only guy, and I will find little to no enjoyment in anything kind of related. The Battlefront classics are coming back. That I might find some enjoyment in. It's still a shooter at the end of the day. I like multiplayer Call of Duty. Like, that's it for me. El Salvador says, would you ever let any of the Star Wars cast or actors sign your old valuable sets, or would that bring the price down? No, I think having the actors sign some of your stuff definitely makes it more valuable for some people. Personally, I'm not too big of a signature guy. There's like 3 signatures that I would like really care to have. That would be Tom Brady, David Ortiz, Jason Tatum. Like, it's probably it. Like, and I would just want like a signed jersey, you know what I mean? That I would think is cool. I'd just rather have my Clean Cloud City box, you know what I mean? So that's just kind of the way that I view it. But as far as like a value thing goes, yeah, it would definitely make it more valuable. I've definitely seen some listings out there from time to time where people are selling stuff that they got signed from the actor, and it certainly demands a premium. I don't know what, percentage, definitely is going to vary from actor to actor, but definitely can be a thing that increases the value. I certainly would never say it decreases the value, unlike my signature. Next question comes from Cones. He says, what would you say / ask if you were given the chance to talk to the leaders of Lego Star Wars? If it was like an actual conversation / podcast / interview with them, though, I think it would be fantastic. I think there's a lot of potentially great questions to go and ask. There's a lot of stuff that, frankly, less invested fans don't ask. I think knowing why certain decisions are made, like calling the Starship series the Starship series instead of anything else, and you know, limiting yourself, I think knowing that kind of matters. I think having a better understanding for the community of like what is chosen when and why to get released would be important. Like really understanding why there was no Snowspeeder to coincide with the last 2 amazing AT-ATs needs to be known. Understanding why con exclusives are a shell of their former selves is important to me as a collector, and I think to many of the collectors out there, right? Like that matters. Of course, as it pertains to like promotional sets and things, I think that's another very important and somewhat touchy subject to some people. Why is there a Rex and Yularen patch? No one has thought about the Rex and Yularen patch since the day it released. Like just mentioning it was the first time you've thought about it. So why would they release something like that in lieu of a cool build like the Death Star from May 4th last year that people still talk about to this day? Bottom Shelf Studio says, if Star Wars switched to a different buildable toy brand, would you still collect all of the sets? I think it'd be great for content. Doing like a Mega Constructs X-Wing versus Lego X-Wing would be an incredible video, and like the content that would create and stuff that I would get out of it, I think would be fantastic for years. On the other hand, would I would collect them all is probably until I got tired of it. I mean, at the end of the day, my true tie is probably to Lego. So if Star Wars left Lego, I probably wouldn't care as much about it in some ways, but maybe, you know, maybe if Mega got a hold of it and they did a really good job, I would care as much as they did. But again, we're talking about 25 years of Lego Star Wars is like what I, you know, and my heartstrings are attached to, you know, and that's why I care so much. And so if it went to a different brand, it would kind of change that for a lot of people, right? But at the end of the day, I think Lego having it is optimal to me. I do enjoy it, and I hope that things can get better, you know? Bricker Ricky says, do you have any of the Lego Star Wars watches that come with a minifigure in your collection? You betcha. Well, I really only have one. I bought this one like 2 years ago. I was going to open it and wear it to like the ATT release, but I didn't. So now I just have a sealed Commander Cody watch. It's pretty cool. Like, it's nice. You know, it's just not my fashion statement, I guess. So I don't open it, but it's a nice piece to have sealed. I want to say I paid like $50 for it. I don't know what it's worth exactly. It doesn't really matter. I'm never going to sell it. Because of the release of Bad Batch Season 3, we're back at it again. And user says, do you think we get a new attack shuttle or turbo tank with 104th because of Bad Batch Season 3? I also saw some people asking about the Republic Commandos. It's sad because Lego is really neglecting the Bad Batch. We just saw hit animated series Clone Wars. I would, you know, wager to say the Bad Batch doesn't quite get that same like recognition of hit animated series. Until proven otherwise, I don't expect anything from the Bad Batch. There are 0 Bad Batch sets coming out this year. So why would they come out in January of next year, 10 months after the show aired? Obviously, they make sets years and years and years after shows come out all the time. Like, it's not unheard of. It's not necessarily unrealistic to believe that something could come out in January of next year. But I don't know, man. It is weird that Lego is, like, missing a golden opportunity to tie in some of these sets to, like, a current media show. Like, they're obviously at some point gonna do another Turbo Tank, so why not have released it this summer with a tie-in to the show? It just doesn't make sense. Penksa says, I've just seen the new leaked Darth Maul, and he has no pupils, just like Palpatine. But does this mean that the next Sith Anakin, hopefully next year, will not have pupils? What do you think about this? Yeah, it probably does mean that. Lego, for some reason, decided it was a good design choice to give a bunch of characters no pupils. This is very uncommon. Like, they've been giving Darth Maul pupils since 1999. It's insane to not give him pupils. Like, we all understand that, right? Darth Maul is not the first minifig in these recent waves of Lego Star Wars sets to have no pupils. Ahsoka and Hera Syndulla from the Ahsoka wave had no pupils. Palpatine had no pupils. And with these characters, I looked at it, I just kind of am like, yeah, it looks all right, looks good. I think in Hera, it particularly like looks really nice, and it doesn't translate on Darth Maul. It's just a very unfortunate way to run things. And yes, now minifigs like Sith Anakin, who once looked very good, may very well look very bad to a lot of people. Next question from user says, which one is better, Fox or Fives? I will unironically try very hard in good faith to answer this question for you. I think the only way I can answer this is by counting how many things I think are bad on each figure. Printed waist cape, strike 1. Pink chest plate, strike 2. Incorrect chest plate printing, strike 3. Tiny little white line, strike 4. Printed waist cape, strike 1. Mega ammo pouch, strike 2. Flat pancake of a pauldron, strike 3. Exposed helmet holes, strike 4. Obviously, they work for the visor. That's why I didn't talk about it on Fox. And then the helmet print, definitely strike 5. So I think 5's has more things wrong with it. I almost, though, feel like Fox looks worse because the torso print is pink. Like, at least the color on this one is fine. Like, I don't know. I'm really looking for something good to say here about one over the other. I suppose 5's has the cool head print underneath, which is worth some brownie points. Like, that at least, if you remove the helmet, it looks still bad, but decent. I hate this question so much. Thank you for watching this episode of Ask MandR Productions. If you guys enjoyed, hit the like button. If you have a question or topic for next episode, leave in the comments section below, and I'll see you in the next one, when I hopefully have a review out of the biggest waste cape I've seen in my life.